The event, Square Arena Part 1. Oh, and stop! What is it? We are just getting to the good part. No, you'll just get into the bad part. Take a look around. You need to learn to be more mindful of your surroundings. No matter how safe the gear may be, if the two of you physically start flying around, you're going to send everything else flying too. But I have these awesome wings. What's the point of having them if I can't fly around as fast as I can? You already do that even when you don't have wings. But they are so cool. I use the wind cones to move when I fly with the winds, so I feel more in tune with nature. Also, Frey says, you didn't even come up with that yourself. Well, I guess I also use winds when I fly, but come to think of it, Frey never retracts the winds. How does she sleep? And wouldn't they get caught in the door frames? I tend to drift to places other than her winds, but I guess I never noticed. Something on your mind? I know it's nothing anyhow. Winds or no winds, I can't have you running amok. But we can't sell things if we are holding back. Knowing you two, you wouldn't be able to sell things even if you go all out. But that being the case, I'll show you why it's fun to compete in with predetermined regulations. Although, which martial arts manga have you read so far? The sacred text of boxing, Oi no Impo, the scripture of judo, Yu Yata, and the Kendo Bible, Kojiro's Son. That will be perfect. If you know those three, prepping should be easy. Do you want to try out boxing, Kendo, and judo? The armor has barriers protecting the face and the body, so we can do any of them. I have no problem with that. After all, each sacred text made me feel like I could do anything I read about in them. You mean the vicarious adrenaline rush you get from sports manga? Though I get the feeling you two may actually pull off some of the stuff in there. I've never heard of any of these martial arts. Are they actually fun? I'm pretty sure judo would be the right up your alley. I heard there was a technique resembling the Ippon Sura Nage in the traditional martial arts from your territory. My territory, you mean this? Why me? Jack, well, you were nearby, and so I kind of absent-mindedly. How about giving it a little thought before you go holding people a long distance? At least now you can see what I was talking about. You mean the almost capabilities? You are right. These joints are really flexible, so it was a breeze to throw him. That's not what I meant. I wanted you to understand that even with your armor that absorbs the force you put out, we will still end up with collateral damage if you throw, jump, or fly. And that's why I want to lay some ground rules to keep things under control. The one common factor between the three sports Veldora just mentioned is that they are all constrained within the boundaries of a square area. And each sport has its own penalty for going outside of that area. Besides, then the two of you want to put your armor on display later on. You only want to risk it being reckless and breaking it toward you. That's a fair point. Fine, I'll go along with it. Alright then. First, let me make the win and What happened, Yabu? I'm terribly sorry. I somehow dropped into a bowl when I got thrown. Got a horde of monsters come spewing out. What are you, a golf ball? Oh yeah, I read that about in the sacred text of golf, you want to see my nice shot. That's quite alright. Let's take care of the outbreak first. Now you're going to regret underestimate this. Please don't make this about yourselves. This is all for Hannah, I'll save you. That said, you're pretty strong yourself, so fate. I'll provide backup. I said that. This is beyond me. Monsters I can handle, but it'd be no joke to get hit by a friendly fire in this situation still. Or do these guys have a color pattern that looks a lot like cop streamers? Though only the blue one is flying for some reason. Alright. Match before the match. You saved my neck, thank you very much. Watch yourself from now on. You are the one who threw him. I need to build this win quick. You mean like a halo? No, not that win. Let's see. You don't know what a win is, Milim. The win is the stage where every man begins his journey to fame. I don't see how that has anything to do with me. There's also women's boxing. Bottom line, I'll be tailoring this win specifically for the two of you. I don't see why you have to worry about safety though. The two of you are going to get bored of boxing in the not so distant future, so I plan to have everyone else use it later. You almost make it sound like we are fickle. You just said you got bored of the free-for-all brawl format. Well, I can understand if you are talking about Milim. How rude. Yes, that's enough. Listen up now. I want the girls and the kids to be able to use the win too, so I think this is a good idea to make sure the floor mat and the ropes are made from a soft material. Say you want to use soft materials, but what's the win made of? I could see the shape of the win in the sacred text, but I was completely lost about its texture. I don't think I've ever looked at it closely either. Floor mat, also known as the canvas mat, is made of felt. A monster with a similar full texture has been detected. It can be hunted in a nearby forest. Let me try this boxing thing already. I'm bored. Yeah, I want to let off some more steam. If only I could go out and hunt a wider variety of prey. Well, if you really insist, then there is one prey I'd like you to hunt for me. Are you trying to swindle me to run an errand for you? I could go hunting myself, but you are bored anyways, right? Given how flashy this equipment is, I would prefer to go outside. Cannot be torn into felts after rigor mortis has occurred. A live capture is recommended. So that's how it's going to be. In that case, you knock the monster out, and Milim, you shoe its foe with the nails on the knuckles of your armor. Shoe its foe. In other words, you don't want us to kill it, but by the way, what are you going to do with the foe? You know, the canvas material of the mat of the boxing ring. I'm using it for the surface. Blood and sweat and stains on the floor in the manga weren't there. Then you pick it up, your mouthpiece, and get back to the fates again. Where there's already someone down for the count in the manga image. I don't really get it, but it sounds like you are determined, so I'll humor you. Some kind of monster foe with a soft texture for the surface of the ropes would be nice. There's wire on the inside, so it'd be a safety hazard to have uncovered. Can you just use actual rope? Are you sure you want that? It'd be really itchy if it touches your back, you know. Anything but that. I'm perfectly fine with pain, but being itchy stresses me out. Wait, I'll prepare the dye for the red, the blue, and the white corners on my end. Needless to say, I'm in the red corner. Got it. Red is the color of the champion. You're not going to match the color of your armor. My armor is one that's red, you know. You will take the blue corner, Milim. The rules say challengers use the blue corner. Didn't you come here to challenge me? You're the one who came here to play, so that makes you the challenger, right? I will not accept this. That's it. First, we'll have a match to see who's the champ. What's the point of having a match when you are about to have one anyway? Then we will decide based on who gets the materials first. Bring it on to cooperate so you can cheer the foe. These guys, man. Alright, then. Holy, alright, that should do it for the win. Thanks for the help. Don't mention it. The opportunity to see a match between Lord Veldora and Lady Milim should make for a splendid training demonstration. It's only game 2, so as long as I can just watch. Keep in mind that we will be having a review session to check your understanding when it's over. So this is what the ring looks like, and you're supposed to do this boxing thing while stepping inside of it. Kendo and judo as well. Normally you don't use the ropes for judo and kendo, but it'd be a hassle to change the location every time, so we'll do them all here. Well, I'm the one in the blue corner. This makes me look like the challenger. You played rock, paper, scissors to decide, so don't complain. You are supposed to take the title of the champion by challenging the current title holder. That's right. Milim, you may be the one on the throne now, but the higher you are, the further you fall. Come for that belt. What are you talking about? I don't have anything around my waist. Don't tell me you don't know about the champion's belt. Give Milim the lowdown on what boxing is all about. That's right. I'm going to lay down some specific rules then. But with the you two, I don't see either one of you going down to the count. Obviously. So I'm going to have you compete with amateur boxing rules. What are you talking about? Ask anyone. I'm clearly a pro. Anyone I ask will tell you you're a bodybuilder or normal. Besides, professional licenses don't even exist in this world. But then, how are these amateur rules different from the ones in the sacred text? With amateur rules, you need pawns to win. So the key is to land as many blows as you can on your opponent. Punches count as pawns regardless of whether they knock your opponent down. We will call these you land the hit pawns. So in other words, there's not much point to slugging each other as hard as you can, right? Right, so you'll own pawns by landing clean hits that look convincing to the judges, and not for wild winning swings. Well, technically, you also lose if you get knocked down 3 times in the 3-minute period of a round, or if you can get up in 10 seconds after getting knocked down. Not happening, yeah, wait, I thought so. Anyways, you don't have to overthink it. The one who lands more hits wins. I just need to pummel him, right? Yeah, that's technically correct. But simply, the name of the game is to hit your opponent without getting hit. It's a contest of technical skill as opposed to brute violence, correct? You can't just be attacking all the time. You will also need to learn how to defend. Doesn't that put me at a disadvantage since I'm a larger target? You bring that up now, even though you want a match with no weight classes. Being small like me, does that give me an advantage? You want to try? Forget what I said, please, anything but that. I thought so. I'll judge fairly, so I just want you both to focus on scoring points. I'll leave refereeing to you, if you please. The victor will be determined with a cumulative assessment of the offense, defense, aggressiveness, and the number of clean punches landed. So we are shown to know I don't have to worry about the ref making a wrong call. Alright, let's do this then. Round 1, bite. Alright, bong. It was supposed to be the boxing bell anyways. Have a good fight. Let's try taking advantage of my reach here. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What the heck? Why are you walking your arms like that? There it is, the stance any boxing manga reader would want to try, Detroit style, also known as Hitman style. Not today. She reacted to the flicker jab at first sight. Can read any punch like an open book. I'll turn you into Swiss cheese from long range. Foosh, foosh, foosh. Yeah, not hitting me. That's a marvelous evasive agility. She's dodging everything using only her upper body. That's called weaving. Though I'm pretty sure Milim has some previous experience in martial arts, so it shouldn't become too much of a surprise. It's time for me to go on the counterattack. Flurry of jabs is looking intense though. How are you going to get past it? I'll close in while dodging and strike. That move is this is the famous onslaught of constructive hooks powered by the momentum of lateral weaving, a move as old as the tradition of American boxing. The Dempsey rule. I don't really get what you are saying, but doing this works perfectly for attacking defense. That's the move I wanted to copy the most. Fine, eat my finishing move, cross counter. This started to look like a lunch break scene with middle school boys. Huh. That was quick. As we are getting into the second round, Milim still has the advantage. Doesn't it just look like Lady Milim's going to win this? I wouldn't be so sure. Remember, Lord Veldora has studied the written records of boxing. He may still have something up his sleeve. I don't want to resort to this, but you leave me no choice. I'll show you some textbook boxing. Or did his punches lose the bait? Whatever charge. What are you doing? My arms I can't move them. Fascinating. He has Lady Milim arms clenched at his side. I don't see her having an easy time getting out of this. But we are going to stay like this for a while. How are we supposed to hit each other like this? This is what known as the clinch. Is a strategy used to prevent an opponent from attacking by holding their arms. Just give it a few seconds and break it up, Veldora. What was that just now? These stupid twitching punches are so annoying. Time for some payback, huh? You got my arms again. What the heck are you going on here? God, knock it off already. I can't land any punches on you like this. Break. That's it. Are you messing with me? You fight by the rules but exploit the loopholes. That's how tactics work in competitive sports. The fun begins when you start using your head. You won't win by relying entirely upon brute force, explosives, or magic. That's what makes sports so profound. So it's all fair games as long as I don't use magic. Is that right? Huh? She started shooting blasts of air from her fists. Isn't it against the rules to use projectiles? Hang on, is it actually against the rules because of the blast of air produced by her fist without the use of special tools and the like? Assume that this can be treated as wind pressure. As natural phenomenon, no rules have been broken. There aren't any rules that forbid wind pressure produced by punching. I haven't used any magic for your information. But wouldn't that make this trans-dimensional boxing? What are you going to do? The two of you are trans-dimensional beings anyhow. It's not against the rules. Now I can hit you all I like without going anywhere near you. And that means no more clinching for you. I'll do it too then. You copped me, rocket punch. I want to dodge, but these ropes and corners are in the way. They are really pushing the bounds of the definition of outboxing, but isn't this defense low, aggressive high? What about the number of clean hits landed? We're getting caught in the crossfire. I didn't factor in the rocket punches, so forgot about to put up a barrier. Who'd have thought the spectators would end up with trials of their own? Are you serious? Alright. Superman human weakness. Time's up. Is it okay to be using something like this as a round bell? This is just a pot. Now I'll do things. I just getting kind of embarrassed saying it out loud. That's all for round 3. Here's the judge's decision. Did you see that? I landed far more hits than you did. I had more rocket punches. See, Veldora had 5 clean hits, so he gets 5 points, and Milim also had 5 clean hits, so it's a tie. How is that possible? Why did you only count 5 punches? There's no way, it was only 5. I had way more than that. What about the exchange where they were hitting each other left and right? Won't you listen to the rules? The wind pressures of your punches will find in a mark, but you both forgot an important detail. You get points for clean hits landed with the fist. I remember explicitly saying that. The rocket punches were my attacks. They weren't illegal, but they didn't count as effective blows either. And so both landed the same number of physical punches, which is why it's a tie. Can't be serious. It slipped my mind. I'll give you credit for trying to experiment within the rules. Sell the score in another event. What's next? Next is Kendo. I know your face and body aren't covered by armor, but the barrier should prevent any injuries. What's with this stick? It's hollow and then said, that is called a shinai. Bamboo sword. It's softer and more flexible than a wooden sword, which allows for safe swordplay practice, though admittedly our swordsmanship instruction is done with wooden swords. But these are so much safer. Why don't you let us change these then? Don't bend. We chose wooden swords so you'd be better prepared for an actual combat. I feel like I got the short end of the stick. Were designed for humans, so they are too frail to be used by margin. What gives? That flimsy stick feels like it's going to crumble into tiny pieces. That's why you have to control your strength. The goal of Tendel isn't to cut your opponent or shake them down to the ground. It's martial art specialized for suppressing mobs and protecting VIPs. The rules are simple. A downward shake landed on your opponent's head or wrist is a horizontal shake on either side of the torso or a thrust of the neck are all worth 1 point. Whoever scores 2 points first in 5-minute period is the winner. Why aren't there any upward shakes? In an actual sword fight, is it possible you'll end up in a situation where you will have to perform an upward shake? There is a sport of self-defense. Due to a lack of strength, it's easier for humans to shake down from protecting themselves than miscreants carrying weapons like knives. At least that's what is said in the sacred text. Is practicing this ever going to be useful one day? It's unusual, but even in peaceful worlds without weapons, you will occasionally run into the kind of person who pulls a knife on people. Being unarmed, weak, and without anything like magic to defend themselves, that can be all it takes for a person to lose their life. Seem to be unusual passionate about it. Well, naturally, it happened to me. In any case, the average person doesn't have the kind of power, which is all the more reason why I want the two of you to be role models of self-defense techniques. Who said anything about destruction? Fair opponent, a stronger fighter can drop his level to match a weaker one. No, I am. If you are talking about the strongest, then that's obviously me. Let's get this started already. Yep, I'm glad you are motivated. Got it. Gentle must grip it gentle. Seems like both of you are having trouble using the shinai as swords right off the bat. That's too sure. Could I ask you to do that? I don't intend to stick my foot in the casket just yet. The bare minimum myself. Well, thank you all for